You sign up for a Prezi account. But if you just go to Prezi.com, you can actually follow through. I mean, this is the direct link to it. So it's Prezi.com/profile/signup/edu. That would get you directly to the page we could see it in. And one of the things with Prezi is when you include a full hyperlink, I'll bring that back, when you include http:// whatever the URL is, if you include that in your Prezi, it becomes an active link. So somebody, just like I did, if you just click on that link once you're running your presentation, it will actually work. So we talked a little bit about the editing before and the use of this bubble menu as the way to edit when you're in Prezi. And then there's also the Prezi Zebra, which is an interesting tool. We'll look at how that works. But it's like I say, it's an interesting tool to see what it can do. But with the bubble menu, you have the ability to insert pictures. You have the ability to frame things, which we'll talk about why that might be important. You have the ability to create this path so that so that as you're giving your presentation, you know which order you want things to go in terms of your content. You do have a limited ability to have style, so choices of colors, very limited in terms of that. There's some themes that you can pick from, but there's not a lot of variety there. And then this is also like what we're doing currently is the show. So if I go up to the top left and just roll over there, I'll get the menu back for me. You can toggle between the show and the ability to edit by using the space bar. Okay, that's an important thing to remember. So if you hit the space bar while you're in the show, that will let you see the editing tools again. Okay. Anybody remember off the top of your head what the space bar does in PowerPoint? You advance a slide. So those of us that have been doing it for a while, we have all these. There's like 15 things you can hit to advance the slide, and sometimes you just hit the space bar. And in this case, if you hit the space bar, you're going back to the edit mode. Okay. With this, I'm going to actually get out of this presentation in a second and let you actually see it. Actually, I'm just trying to think through this in terms of being able to show you some of the things with a new presentation and editing it. This is where the desktop tool would have been helpful, but I'm going to stay with the web tool. So at this time, I'm going to jump out of our presentation here. So to do that, it automatically saves for you, so that's not necessarily something you have to worry about. It does have a save button up here that you can use, but typically what you'll see up there is a time of when the last time it saved it, but it's doing that frequently. So I'm going to just click exit here, and I'm going to get back to where possibly you are so that I can create one with you. Okay, so it jumps me back to here. And so then if I went back to where it says your presentations, we can all click on that new Prezi if you haven't already done that. And it will be asking you for a title. And a description. And then click New Prezi. And similar to how PowerPoint first comes up where it wants you to click and add something, this tells you to click anywhere and add an idea. And so I don't know that there's any limit to the canvas. Maybe somebody else knows that, but as far as I know, you can just keep going out as far as you want in any direction and create content. My recommendation would be that this first piece of content is actually what you would start with, that you would double click on it, and then you can actually change what it says in a way to get your title in. Okay. And so I'm going to just add something here because I still have a workflow that I want to go through with you, but I'm going to add just put a title in here, so I'm just going to select this text. And call mine Prezi Demonstration. And the blocks of text that you put in, they're independent of each other. So if I had some subheading that I wanted to say, if I'm okay with it being at the same font size and being positioned exactly how Prezi will position it in this text box, then I can press enter and keep typing, okay? If I want that. But if I wanted the ability to move that subheading around or change the font size or something, then I really should make it its own independent item in this. I'm going to delete that off there. And so if you'll just, once you've created it, if you just click off, that then becomes its own item on the Prezi screen. And so to edit this, if I've got two choices. If I want to do something to this heading that I have here, if I click once, I get the Prezi Zebra. Okay, the Prezi Zebra. And it took me a little while to figure the Prezi Zebra out. I see Erla shaking her head as well. But it's quite clever. The very middle stripes, vertical stripes in the Prezi Zebra, if you click and hold down, that's how you can drag whatever it is around. Okay? So if you have something there, if you click and drag around, you can move it. The next group of lines, the circle, 3 circles, this is how you, if you click there and move up or down, click and drag up or down, you're resizing it. Okay? And for a while, I was trying to click around like this, and it was going in and out, in and out, in and out. So just know that you just need to click on it, and if you go up or down, you're resizing it. If you have other items on the page, as you're resizing one item, you'll see those other items, possibly you'll see them highlight. When you see another item highlight, what it's indicating to you is it's the same size. There is no way in Prezi to say, I want this to be a 16-point font, and this to be a 32-point font, and this to be 40. You resize, okay, just by dragging. My point on, if you have multiple lines of text in the same block, and you're used to in PowerPoint selecting the top block and making that font bigger and selecting the next line and making it smaller, those have to be 2 separate items in order for you to do that. Okay? You can make one line a bullet point and the other line not a bullet point, but you can't change the font size with it or color. Okay? It's almost like you need to leave it the size they give you. Just take that. Give it up, right now. Release it. Okay? It'd be nice if, as you were doing that, it showed you like a size or something so you could kind of lock into it if you got it where you want it. Then the third one, what do you think the third one does if you haven't already figured it out? you click that and drag it, you'll get the rotation. Okay. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of insight to it so that I can jump back to the presentation and talk a little bit about a workflow. So you can see it saved my presentation at 12:51. I'm going to now exit. You can stay in this because I'm going to just go back to my presentation and give you some more tips. But you can, if you did exit, it would save again on exiting. And it's fairly slow to exit on online, so you just need to be patient with that. Once I'm out of that, I can click back to your presentations. So I'm going to go back to that other presentation I have. Click on it. It will load. Okay, and we'll go ahead and go into it. And I'm going to click on Show again. And the spacebar would have worked there as well. And full screen. And I'm going to go back to the arrows. Okay, so let me jump to where I'm at.
How are you jumping?
It's actually the path. So I'm actually just hitting my right arrow key to go to the next one. Okay, so here were some of the features when you signed up. You probably saw this on that page, but that middle one is what you have, the EDU Enjoy, which is the one that they actually charge for if you're getting a public account. Okay, so we looked at both the bubble menu and the Zebra. And I'm going to jump back. One of the things I want to show here real quickly is you can see the jagged edges on those images. This is another challenge for you, is that putting images in, almost the best thing that works are PDF documents. They seem to do the best job of scaling. Otherwise, you want to be really careful about having something that's a low-res image. You know, if you're looking at images on the web, and the image, you know, you're looking at Google Images, and there's something that's sometimes you see where it will say 200 by 300 in terms of the size of it. Those images coming in, you'll have no ability to zoom in on them. They'll look like this one does. They'll look jagged. Okay, and so you really need to start with bigger images. And some of the help guides that I've seen suggest that everything needs to be at this 1024 by 768. So like 1,000 pixels big is really what needs to happen for you to zoom in on it. And that's a little bit more than we have time to cover, capturing those types of images. But it is something that I'd want to make sure you understand. So if you're planning to use this tool and that's something that you don't understand, please talk to me, because we can make sure that we help you figure out how to capture those types of images. Okay. Okay. So to actually bring in an image to your Prezi, I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, and I was just using the down arrow key again to zoom out. And then I'm going to use the space bar here to get me back into an edit mode. Okay, I could have also just rolled up here to the top left side of the screen. But there is this insert, okay? And so I can click on insert. And when I do that, it does have the ability to insert shapes. So if you were wanting to, you know, kind of frame things in with you know, circles or point arrows at things, you do have the ability to have shapes. But then loading files is what we're probably most interested in. And so if you've saved an image from the web, then to pull that image in, you click on load file, and you would be able to go and find something. So Let me just, well, I'll just use something that's in here so I won't have to jump around. But I just want to, let's say if I want to grab the Prezi logo, I'll just click there, click open, and it's pulled that in. Here's the Prezi logo, and so now I have the ability to click on it once, get my Prezi Zebra, and then I can drag it to where I want it to go. Okay, if I click off, and that's possibly a little confusing because the thing that I brought in had the Prezi Zebra in it, but I just click it once, it gives me the zebra. I need the zebra to be able to manipulate it. So if I want to move it, I click that middle piece. If I want, what's going to happen if I click the next ring? Resize it. Careful doing that with images because of the, you make it really big, you're going to get the pixelation. And the third ring would let me rotate it if I wanted to do that. I guess this zooming is the problem. You're not typically in PowerPoint, you're not typically zooming in on an image that you create, where this invites you to do that. So you bring in, let's say that you're working with the human body, you bring in what is a nice graphic for a full screen PowerPoint. Well, you were just pointing at it before, but now they've encouraged you, hey, zoom in on those lungs, zoom in on the muscles in the leg. That's something that you've got the ability to do in this tool. And so you really need to begin that. You have to start with a really high-res version of that initial image in order for it to not just look jagged when you zoom in. When I go back and edit this one for the next time I give this workshop, one of those compare and contrast I think needs to be the handling of video, because it is a real strength of Prezi, the ease that it handles the things like a YouTube video. You just put the URL. I mean, when I click here, if I paste the URL of a YouTube file, whenever I click, it will just immediately embed that YouTube video there for me. And as John said, when you set up your path, when that YouTube video is when you get to the path and you've made the YouTube video one of the items in your path, when it gets there, it just starts playing the video. And with PowerPoint, there's all sorts of, first of all, unless you're working with 2010, it's fairly clumsy, in my opinion, to get a YouTube video. I mean, most people have resorted to using some tool to take the YouTube video and pull it offline and bring the video in that way. And then they've got to make a decision if they want it to automatically play or start it by clicking on it. And it just doesn't work as slick as this tool will work for you.